happened.
Is that for me, Beneath? I
Yes,
didn't.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That's for you.
Well, the speculation in the media was that we were sending a message. But as Major General Dwivedi correctly pointed out, this is all speculation since uh, it has it has been denied and it has also been avoided, both in the sense that the response initially was ambiguous and then it was denied. Under those circumstances, we cannot rule out that there was a strike intended to send a message to show the Pakistanis that we know exactly where their nuclear assets are and we know how to get them. Since they are not buried as deeply into the mountain as the Iranians are, we don't need bunker bombs to get them out. If we wish to, next time we can. But there is always the issue of the nuclear fallout and the radiation. These are very serious issues, which is exactly why nuclear countries, as Major General Dwivedi pointed out, have understandings that they do not attack each other's nuclear installations normally. That is a normal convention. That brings us to the second and more important question, which you raised beneath, which is who controls Pakistan's nuclear facilities? Normally, in a democracy, the civilian government, for instance, in India, it's our prime minister who controls our nuclear facilities. In a country like Pakistan, where President Trump himself has tried to equate Mullah Munir with our Prime Minister, ignoring the poor civilian Prime Minister of Pakistan. This means that even the US President accepts that this so-called Field Marshal is the real boss in Pakistan. Question is, does he control Pakistan's nuclear assets? Or do the Americans control the nuclear assets? Or does China control the nuclear assets? Because it is not clear to with President Trump, it is clear to everyone else that actually Pakistan is a frontline state for China. And in the recent hostilities, the Chinese were the proxy enemy on the Pakistan-India border and they were testing their weapons on India. In other words, Pakistan today is a proxy state of China and not of the United States. And the faster President Trump understands it, the better for him and for his country. In which case, it brings us to the third and even more dangerous solution, which is that does China then control Pakistan's nuclear assets? Who controls those nuclear assets? Can those nuclear assets, if they are not properly secured, fall into the hands of jihadis? Or are they fully secure, either with the Pakistani military authorities or with the Chinese, since it is clear that the Americans do not control Pakistan's nuclear facilities? These are all very disturbing questions which need a response. And that response can only come if President Trump and the United States understand, in the first instance, that Pakistan is a danger to international peace and security and is a frontline state for China, instead of constantly trying to hyphenate India with Pakistan and now even talking about perhaps making a stopover in Pakistan before coming to India for the Quad Summit. These are very distressing signals coming from the United States, and I think the US intelligence should brief President Trump exactly about how the Chinese are actually utilizing and controlling Pakistan's nuclear and military assets so that it has actually become a client state of China. Vineet.
General Sudhakarji, this is indeed